Hi guys, Ronnie here and welcome to the workshop. Today I want to show you one of our latest triathlon builds based on this Pinarello Bolide TR, which I think is a really compelling choice for long distance triathlons, and it's also a first for us in terms of building a bike like this, and also it's not one that you see very often. So it's a pretty high-end build as well, with all the good stuff that we know about bikes. But I think the highlight here is really the frame. So starting from the front, we have a head V84 Vanquish wheelset, also in the back of course. As you can see, this is due to limitations in triathlon which prevent a disc wheel in some of the races. So this is a fast combination that can be used all around, and the head wheels are really a staple in our lineup, have been for the past 5 years. These new V84s are really fast, but their key strength I think is the crosswind stability, which definitely helps with a big section like this, and it really aids the efficiency, which is on top aided by the fact that we have also installed a Continental Aero 111 tire on there on the front. This saves a bit of drag at high yaw angles because of the aero profiling, but crucially it also helps with crosswind stability to make sure that the rider can stay in the aero bars for longer and even in severe crosswinds. So I think in both triathlons and time trialing, this is a really important aspect of bike setup. You really want to have a good deal of crosswind stability, because it doesn't matter if your wheel is 1 watt slower or faster in a crosswind, but if it forces you to go out on the base bar, then that's 20-30 watts slower. So yeah, that's the key thing here. The wheel sits in the traditionally Pinarello shaped sculpted fork, as you can see, with the typical tab here at the dropout. It doesn't yet have the flush dropout that you get on the latest Dogma F and Bolide F. Maybe in a future iteration it will. And yeah, it blends in, and even though it has a proper fork steerer, so it's no bayonet fork, it still has this protrusion in the front to shield the head tube and to provide a deeper section. And I think at the time of release that was not UCI legal. It would be now, so that's probably why the Bolide F doesn't use this anymore, but still it's a pretty cool design. Looks extremely good, I think, even more so in the combination with this silver paint job. We have of course the most branded base bar on here. It's not as narrow as on the Bolide F, but it's still narrower than most other bikes you see. So this should be a 38 centimeter center to center, so that's just right, really, not extra narrow. Also you get good control. One thing I like about it is the ergonomic shaping here in the ball horn area. So it's not just a round section, but it kind of beefens up in this area so you can hold it. We of course installed the Sync foam grips, which are, I think, the best option these days for a time trial or triathlon base bar. They provide a good secure grip without any extra bulk. On them of course we have the trusty Dura Ace ST9180 brake levers, as complemented by the rest of the Dura Ace build, which you can find on this bike throughout. This bike comes with the standard round pole extensions, so pretty traditional and not very usable, to be honest, for real competition. From 2026 it should come with the most Olympic cockpit and the newer base bar as well. But for this we have the Sync Aerobar system. This is the latest Aerobar 3, and we have used this on a couple of bikes already, but Sync are refining it ever and ever. So now we have the new updated arm pads which come in carbon fiber, and they also have the Velcro attachments now for the foam pads. You no longer need to glue them in place, and carbon fiber pads should be stiffer than the 3D printed ones that came in the early versions. The hardware is slightly updated as well. Now you have cut lines on the extensions themselves, so you can more precisely tune the length. And also another first for us is the triathlon grip. So this is the full length triathlon grip that is really comfortable to hold, and it's quite different to what you normally see with the UCI builds that we have done. Those are kind of truncated halfway through to fit in the vertical measurements, even at higher base bar angle or aero bar angles. There's an optional mounting for a BTA also that would come into the arm pads. We don't have that just yet, but can be added on at a later date if the customer decides to do so, to get a fully aero optimized bottle setup that would place the bottle somewhere right here, where usually it comes out as pretty efficient in terms of testing. Some other triathlon attachments that are available for this bike are the bento box, which is really nicely done, kind of a rubberized cut section in the top, bolted on, so no ugly straps here, and quite big actually, and easy to reach, so that's a cool thing. And then we have some tool storage with a magnetic attachment here in the bottom of the frame. It also has this pouch, neoprene pouch, to prevent things from rattling, so yeah, it's actually quite neat. The rest of the frame, well, you can't really deny it's a typical Pinarello design, so you have the sculpted shapes throughout, aggressively dropped seat stays, asymmetric chain stays, really deep and really steep seat post as well, with tons of adjustment, and a nice secure clamp that we have already been used to from other Pinarello models. Of course, the ITA threaded bottom bracket in there. Right now we have a Cybrei ceramic unit spinning in there just to complement the Cybrei dub axle cranks. On there we have the Sync double chainrings. These are kind of a recent addition to our product lineup, and I chose them for this build because I have tried them on myself, and unlike other aftermarket options, they really shift extremely great, and the stiffness is also really good. Originally we also planned to use the newer carbon spider version of the Cybrei cranks, but unfortunately that was not compatible with these chainrings. It did fit, but for some reason when installed the chainrings kind of warped on that spider, so we had to revert back to the standard aluminum version, which is a bit of a shame, but still it functions really well even in this shape. We have a double gearing setup, which is not that common for triathlon or TT bikes these days, but this bike will be raced in some hilly events where you do need that low gear. So again, this is a 55-42 with an 11-34 cassette at the back, so it gives you a nice wide range to tackle those climbs. The rest of the build is, well, relatively standard Shimano Dura Ace parts, except the brake rotors. We opted to go for Galfer Wave Road Centerlock disc rotors because, to be honest, they just work better. They're lighter, of course, so they're often on weight weenie builds, but this is not one of them. It's not going to be a light bike by any measure. So it's more there just for added thermal stability and stopping power relative to the stock Shimano rotors, which honestly aren't a big favorite of mine. And yeah, these tend to perform really well. in almost all applications. We have 140 front and rear, just for the added aerodynamic benefit over 160. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of braking. Obviously we have a Shimano wax chain on there, as we always do for fill builds. The rear tire is a Conti TTTR 28mm. This frame has plenty of clearance for that, and you really want to have the reduced running resistance because that is still lower in the TTTR tire relative to the aero tire. So that's the reason for going for that. You also get the extra comfort benefit of wider tire, which comes in handy in a long triathlon. And you top things up in terms of the contact points. We have the Sync Ace LD saddle with carbon rails, where you can also add an integrated or a bottle cage to the integrated bottle cage mount, so you have the full hydration option right there. Yeah, so that's pretty much it about this triathlon build. I think it looks pretty damn awesome, and it's definitely not the most common triathlon bike option, but yeah, it has all the features that you would expect, and being a Pinarello, it surely backs it up with aero performance as well. Another great thing about this bike is, again, like most Pinarellos, it's available in a wide range of sizes that you get from other brands. So no 3 sizes, small, medium, large. Here you get 5 sizes from 450 all the way to 550, so it's going to suit a wide range of riders. Probably a good thing also for triathlon is that it has a relatively high stack. As you can see, this is the seat post, in this case slammed out all the way to around 80 centimeters of saddle height, which is, well, not realistic for a bike of this size, but it can be done. And yeah, you have a decent amount of stack and reach adjustment here thanks to the sync bars. So really competitive setup. I hope you have enjoyed this little overview. Of course, if you want to have your own custom bike built to your specifications for any cycling discipline, then don't forget to contact us via the links below, and we're happy to do one for you, like this one. Now it's time to pack this bike up and ship it to its owner in France, and we'll see each other in the next one. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.